Welcome to Station 1. Station 1 is a review of Monday's work of filling out a table with given values. Now I've already given you a value for each one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at your first given value. This says x is 0 because it is in the x column. So you're going to take your equation, x minus y equals 5, and you're going to fill in a 0 for x, which leaves me with negative y equals 5. Well, we all know we can't leave it with negative y, so I must divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and I get y equals negative 5. So when x is 0, y is negative 5. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. Again, I have x minus y equals 5. But this tells me now that y is 0. So I'm going to fill in 0 for y. Now, do I need to write x minus 0? Do I need that minus 0? No. So I can erase it, which leaves me with x equals 5. So x must be 5 when y is 0. Then I'm going to come down here and do the same thing here. X minus y equals 5, but instead of y, it tells me that y is going to be a 1. So I'm going to erase the y, and I'm going to plug in a 1. Circle what I'm solving for. I must add 1 to both sides. X equals 6. Like that. And now I have to do the same thing when x is 1. So I have x minus y equals 5, but instead of x, I'm going to scribble out the x, and I'm going to plug in the number 1. How do I get rid of that 1? Subtract 1 from both sides. And I have negative y equals 4. I can't leave it with a negative y, so I have to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Y equals negative 4. Equals negative 4. That is how we complete our table. Number 1 is done. Now, if you can figure this out without showing all the work, feel free to do so. However, show the work. That way you can make sure you're correct if you're at all hesitant. We're going to do number 2 as well. Number 2 gives you the exact same numbers. So, first thing I'm going to do, I have x minus y equals 0. But instead of x, I got to plug in my 0 here. So what's the only number divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and y is going to be 0. 0. Come over here. X minus y equals 0. Instead of y, I'm plugging in a 0. Again, I don't need to minus 0 from any side. So I have x equals 0. 0. Come down here. X minus y equals 0. Again, take out the y. This time I'm plugging in a 1. How do I get rid of the 1? Add 1 to both sides. And x is going to be a 1. Well, if this already just told me that x was going to be a 1, then that means when x is 1, y is also going to be 1. So I can do that one without doing any work. Finish the next 2. On Monday, we also covered intercepts. What happens when x is 0 or y is 0? We talked about the cover-up method. If I fill in 0 for x, then 2 times 0 is 0, and that goes away. And I can finish solving then. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, and y equals negative 2. So it says on my y-intercept, it should be negative 2. Well, now I need to find the x-intercept. So I'm going to erase all this. And now, instead of x being 0, y is going to be 0. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, so that goes away. 2x equals 6, divide by 2, divide by 2, and x is going to be a 3, which goes right here. So then I can graph my line like so. We're going to do number 6 as well. Same exact way. To find my y-intercept, I fill in 0 for x, but 3 times 0 is 0, so I can actually just scribble those out. Divide by -4, divided by -4, and y is going to equal a 3. Oh, that was on the x, sorry. Y is going to equal a 3. So then erase that, and it's time to find the x-intercept. So y is going to become 0. Well, -4 times 0 is 0. So get rid of that. Divide by 3, and x is going to equal -4. So on my x-axis, which is the left to right one, I'm going to go to -4 and put a dot, and then I'm going to connect. Finish the last two in station 1.